I trusted him with everything. My passwords, my dreams, my future. And on the night I needed him most, he was already planning how to steal it all from me. Welcome to the last lesson. I'm so glad you're here. If this is your first time joining us, please subscribe for more real stories about betrayal, strength, and rising above. Let's begin. There's a photo somewhere in my parents' house, buried in a drawer now, I'm sure, of me and my brother on the first day of my senior year. He's standing behind me, hands on my shoulders, grinning at the camera. I'm holding my acceptance letter from the debate team nationals. My eyes are bright, hopeful. I look so young. I wish I could reach into that photo and warn her. Tell her to be careful, to guard her dreams a little closer. But I can't. So instead, I'll tell you what happened. And maybe if you're listening to this, you'll see the signs I missed. My brother's name is Marcus. He's 4 years older than me, and for most of my childhood, he was my hero. The kind of older brother who let me tag along when he hung out with his friends, who taught me how to ride a bike without training wheels because Dad was always too busy, who slipped me money from his part-time job when I wanted books our parents said we couldn't afford. Growing up, our house ran on a simple currency, achievement. Good grades meant dinner table praise. Awards meant photo ops for Mom's Facebook. Scholarships meant you mattered. And for a long time, Marcus was the golden child. Straight A's through middle school. Varsity basketball. Early admission to state university with a partial academic scholarship. Then something shifted. Maybe it was the pressure. Maybe it was the realization that being smart in high school doesn't always translate when you're surrounded by people just as smart or smarter. I don't know. But by his sophomore year of college, Marcus was struggling. His calls home became shorter, his visits more tense. And then one Tuesday in October, he came home with 2 duffel bags and a hollow look in his eyes. He dropped out. My parents were devastated. Not because they were worried about him, though I'm sure they were, somewhere beneath it all, but because of what it meant, what people would think, how they'd explain it to relatives. My mother cried at the kitchen table for 3 days straight. My father stopped speaking to him entirely for 2 weeks. And me, I didn't know what to say. So I just tried to be there. Made him coffee in the mornings. Watched movies with him late at night when he couldn't sleep. Asked him about his day, even though he rarely left his childhood bedroom. I thought I was helping. I thought I was being a good sister. I was 17 that year. Senior year of high school. And while Marcus was figuring out what came next, I was building my exit strategy. Because unlike him, I knew exactly what I wanted. I was going to get out of our small town. I was going to study communications at a university where people didn't know my last name or my family's reputation. I was going to become someone on my own terms. The scholarship was my ticket out. The Harrison Excellence Scholarship. Full ride to Westbridge University. Tuition, room, board, everything. It was competitive. Only 5 students nationwide would receive it. But I had the grades, the extracurriculars, the essay that made my English teacher cry when she read it. I had a real shot, and I was terrified. So I talked to Marcus about it. Late nights in the living room after our parents went to bed. I'd sit on the floor with my laptop, working on applications, and he'd sprawl on the couch, scrolling through his phone, occasionally offering advice. Make sure your essay doesn't sound too polished, he said once. They want authentic, not perfect. Talk about the town, he suggested another time. How being from here shaped you. They eat that stuff up. He seemed genuinely invested, genuinely proud of me. And God, I needed that. Because while my parents were supportive in theory, they were still mourning Marcus's failure too loudly to celebrate my potential success. So he became my confidant, my sounding board, the person who knew every detail of my applications, my essays, my dreams. I should have noticed the way his jaw tightened when I talked about leaving. I should have paid attention to the questions that lingered a beat too long. What's your application portal password again? When's the final deadline? Do they notify you by email or mail? I should have seen the way he watched me when I wasn't looking, not with pride, but with something sharper. Something that looked almost like envy. But I didn't. Because he was Marcus, my brother, the person who taught me how to ride a bike and slipped me book money and made me coffee when the world felt too heavy. I trusted him. It was February when our family desktop computer crashed. Right in the middle of application season. My mother panicked. All our tax documents were on there. Photos, everything. Marcus offered to fix it. Said he'd taken a computer science course at State before dropping out. He spent 2 days in the home office, door closed, while I nervously checked my email on my phone every 10 minutes. When he finally emerged, the computer was running again. Faster, even. I organized your files, too, he told me, that easy smile on his face. Put all your college stuff in one folder. And I backed everything up to the cloud, just in case. You'll need your email password, though. I had to reset some settings. I gave it to him without hesitation. Thank you, I said, hugging him. Seriously, you saved me. He hugged me back. Tight. And when he pulled away, there was something in his eyes I couldn't quite read. Something that might have been guilt, or maybe regret, or maybe just the sadness of someone who'd already lost what I was reaching for. Of course, he said. That's what big brothers are for. March came, then April. I checked my email obsessively. Every day, multiple times a day. The Harrison Foundation said they'd notify finalists by April 15th, then interviews in May, then final decisions by June. April 15th passed. Nothing. April 20th. Still nothing. Marcus started going out more. Suddenly he had energy again. Suddenly he was showering, dressing nicely, leaving the house with a purpose I hadn't seen in months. Job interviews, he told my parents at dinner. Trying to get back on my feet. They beamed at him. Finally, their son was returning, and I was still refreshing my inbox. Still waiting. Still hoping. Still trusting. I didn't know yet that my acceptance email had already arrived. I didn't know that someone had already opened it, read it, celebrated it. I didn't know that my future was already being lived by someone else. But I was about to find out. And when I did, everything, my family, my dreams, my understanding of loyalty, would shatter in ways I never imagined possible. May 3rd. I remember the date because it was my 18th birthday, and I spent it crying in the bathroom of the Burger King where I worked part-time. The rejection email had come that morning, not from the Harrison Foundation directly, but from Westbridge University's admissions office. A generic template. Thank you for your interest. Highly competitive applicant pool. We regret to inform you. I read it 7 times before the words actually sank in. I hadn't even made it to the interview stage. After everything, the essays, the recommendations, the sleepless nights perfecting my application, I hadn't even been considered. My mother found me sitting on my bedroom floor, laptop open, mascara running down my cheeks. Sweetie, what's wrong? I couldn't speak. Just turned the screen toward her. She read it, frowned. Well, there are other schools, other scholarships. It's not the end of the world. But it was, or it felt like it, because Westbridge wasn't just a school. It was the school, the one I'd been dreaming about since sophomore year. The one with the communications program that sent graduates to major networks, to international news stations, to careers that actually meant something. And without the Harrison Scholarship, I couldn't afford it. We couldn't afford it. My parents had made that clear from the beginning. Maybe Marcus can talk to you, Mom said, patting my shoulder. He went through this. He knows how it feels. I didn't want to talk to Marcus. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I wanted to disappear. But that night, after my shift, after I'd smiled through birthday wishes from coworkers who didn't know my world was crumbling, Marcus knocked on my bedroom door. Hey, he said, leaning against the doorframe. Mom told me. I'm sorry. I was lying on my bed, staring at the ceiling. Thanks. You'll bounce back. You're smarter than I ever was. Something in his tone made me look at him. He was dressed nicely, button-down shirt, khakis, like he was going somewhere important. Where are you going? I asked. Just out. Meeting some people. He shrugged. Listen, don't give up, okay? Something else will come through. It always does. He left before I could respond. I should have asked more questions. About where he was going, who he was meeting, why he suddenly seemed so confident, so energized, so unlike the depressed dropout who'd been haunting our house for the past 7 months. But I was too buried in my own grief to notice. The next 2 weeks passed in a blur. I applied to other schools, other scholarships, but my heart wasn't in it. I kept checking the Harrison Foundation's website obsessively, reading about the 5 students who'd won. Their photos weren't posted yet, just their names, hometowns, and intended majors. One of them was from a town 2 hours away. Same major as me, communications. I told myself it could have been me, should have been me. And then on May 18th, everything imploded. I was working the morning shift when I got a call from an unknown number. Hello, is this Jasmine Winters? Yes. Hi, this is Patricia Chun from Westbridge University's Office of Student Affairs. I'm calling because we've had some confusion regarding your enrollment status. My stomach dropped. I'm sorry, what? We have you listed as enrolled for the fall semester under the Harrison Excellence Scholarship, but we haven't received your housing deposit or class registration. Orientation is in 3 weeks, so we wanted to follow up. Wait. My hands were shaking. I'm not enrolled. I got a rejection email. I didn't win the scholarship. Silence on the other end. Then, that's strange. Let me pull up your file. Can you confirm your email address? I gave it to her. More silence. Typing sounds. Then, Miss Winters, according to our records, you were notified of your acceptance on April 14th. Someone responded to that email on April 15th, accepting the offer and submitted preliminary enrollment documents. We have scanned copies of your driver's license, social security card, and high school transcripts. The floor tilted beneath me. That's impossible. I never got that email. I never submitted anything. I'm looking at the correspondence now. The emails came from your address. The documents are all in order. The acceptance was confirmed. My mind was racing, spinning. Can you forward me that email chain? The acceptance email and the response. Of course. Give me one moment. I stood there in the middle of Burger King, still wearing my uniform, phone pressed to my ear, while my entire reality shifted. The email came through 30 seconds later. I opened it with trembling fingers. From Westbridge University Admissions to j.winterspoint2024@email.com. Date, April 14th, 3:47 p.m. Subject, congratulations. Harrison Excellence Scholarship Award. Dear Jasmine, we are thrilled to inform you that you have been selected as one of 5 recipients of the prestigious Harrison Excellence Scholarship. I had never seen this email. Never. But someone had responded to it. From my account, 20 hours later. From j.winterspoint2024@email.com. To Westbridge University Admissions. Date, April 15th, 11:22 a.m. Subject, congratulations. Harrison Excellence Scholarship Award. Dear Admissions Committee, thank you so much for this incredible opportunity. I am honored and thrilled to accept the Harrison Excellence Scholarship and confirm my enrollment at Westbridge University for the fall semester. My vision blurred. I read it again and again. Someone had accessed my email. Someone had intercepted my acceptance. Someone had responded as me. And then I remembered. Marcus, the crashed computer. I had to reset some settings. You'll need your email password. I'd given it to him. Oh God, I barely made it to the bathroom before I threw up. When I got home that afternoon, I went straight to his room. Didn't knock. Just opened the door. He was at his desk, headphones on, watching something on his laptop. He jumped when he saw me. Jesus, Jazz, you scared me. Where were you on April 14th? My voice was shaking. What? April 14th. Where were you? He pulled off his headphones slowly. I don't know. Home. Why? What about April 15th? When you left the house all dressed up. Where did you go? Something flickered across his face. I told you. Job interview. Liar. The word hung between us. Excuse me. I pulled out my phone. Showed him the email from Westbridge. I won the Harrison Scholarship, Marcus, on April 14th. But I never saw the acceptance email. Because someone accessed my account and intercepted it. Someone who had my password. Someone who responded pretending to be me. Someone who submitted enrollment documents using my information. The color drained from his face. And then I continued, my voice rising. That someone attended freshman orientation at Westbridge on April 15th. Using my name, my scholarship, my future. He stood up. Jazz, I can explain. You stole it. I was screaming now. You hacked my email and stole my scholarship? My university acceptance? How? How did you even? They don't verify identity at orientation, he yelled back. I just showed up with your documents, said I was you, got the information packets. You pretended to be me? I needed this. His hands were in his hair. You don't understand. I needed a second chance. Mom and Dad won't even look at me anymore. I was drowning here. And you, he pointed at me, his face twisting. You have time. You're still young. You can apply again next year, or go to community college, or... It was mine. I shoved him. Hard. He stumbled back against his desk. That scholarship was mine. I earned it. I worked for it. You had your chance and you blew it, so you just decided to steal mine. It's not stealing if. If what? If we're family? If you think you deserve it more? If you're older? What possible justification? He stood up. Jazz, I can explain. You stole it. I was screaming now. You hacked my email and stole my scholarship? My university acceptance? How? How did you even? They don't verify identity at orientation, he yelled back. I just showed up with your documents, said I was you, got the information packets. You pretended to be me? I needed this. His hands were in his hair. You don't understand. I needed a second chance. Mom and Dad won't even look at me anymore. I was drowning here. And you, he pointed at me, his face twisting. You have time. You're still young. You can apply again next year, or go to community college, or... It was mine. I shoved him. Hard. He stumbled back against his desk. That scholarship was mine. I earned it. I worked for it. You had your chance and you blew it, so you just decided to steal mine. It's not stealing if. If what? If we're family? If you think you deserve it more? If you're older? What possible justification? Because I'll actually use it, he shouted. Because I'll actually make something of myself this time. You'll be fine, Jazz. You're smart. You'll figure something else out. But this is my last shot at fixing my life. I stared at him, this stranger wearing my brother's face. Get out, I whispered. Jazz. Get out. He left, doors slamming behind him. I stood there in his room, surrounded by his things, his posters, his childhood trophies. Evidence of the person I thought he was. And then I saw it, on his desk, partially hidden under a textbook. A Westbridge University student ID card, with my name on it, and his photo. That's when I knew. This wasn't a moment of weakness. This wasn't a mistake. This was calculated, planned. He'd been preparing for this since the moment I told him about the scholarship. My brother hadn't just stolen my future. He'd been planning it all along. I didn't sleep that night. Couldn't. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw that student ID card. My name, his face, the physical proof of his betrayal sitting on his desk, like it was nothing. Like he'd earned it. By 3 a.m., I'd made 17 different plans. Called the university. Called the police. Called the Harrison Foundation. Expose him. Destroy him. Make him pay. But every plan hit the same wall. Proof.